Hello you lovely lot, this is another Juicy Bites video. I'm going to be talking about the Metronome in FL, and it's going to help people who find that the metronome completely disappears on them when they're soloing mixer tracks. So by default in FL, the metronome is routed to the master mixer track, so therefore if you're soloing other mixer tracks, it doesn't disappear, it stays in the master. But there is a reasons why you'd want to send the metronome to another mixer track. The first thing is, if we play, you can see that the metronome interferes with the level going through the master, and ideally we only want to see our project track interfering with the actual level of the master. That's the first reason. The second reason is, without sending it to another mixer track, you can't lower the volume of the metronome, and sometimes you want to do that in a project. If you're working with a vocalist or another performer who's got a fallback mix, they might ask you to turn the metronome down, and unless it's getting sent to a mixer track, you can't do that. So the way to do that is go to your options, go to your audio settings, and then you'll see here preview mixer track, and you can choose a mixer track of your choice. So let's just set it to number 1, and we'll just rename number 1 metronome for now. There we go. Quick tip as well, if you right click the metronome icon in the toolbar, you can choose which sound you want out of 4 that come with FL. So you got hi-hat, default is tick, there's a beep and a cowbell. We always need more cowbell, don't we? So we'll keep it on the default, which is tick for now. So now that it's going through the mixer track number 1, we can now of course lower the level. But that gives us an issue, whereas if we solo a certain mixer track at any point in our project, it takes our metronome away. We don't always want that. We want the choice of being able to mute the metronome ourselves if we so wish. So you can do Control and M, by the way, as a shortcut keyboard to quickly turn on the metronome on and off. That's Control and M. But the simplest option is holding Shift and left clicking the mute icon in the mixer track. And now you can see it's turned to a little lock icon. So now, whatever we solo, that will always stay locked. We can click it to choose it to always stay muted, and vice versa, click it back to always stay soloed. And if you want it to go back to normal, you just hold Shift again and turns it back to a normal solo. That's the quickest option. Now, the astute of you will realise that there's no audio going to the master, which is obviously what we want because we don't want it interfering with the master. So the way to do that is on the metronome mixer track. I've already done it. We go to our audio output target at the bottom of each and every mixer track. So if we go to mixer track 2, you'll see it's set to none because it's getting sent to the master. So that's what we need to do. I've already done it, but when you do it, go to your designated metronome mixer track and make sure you unselect it from the master, but make sure you go to your audio output target and choose your default output. So this will go to your speakers the same as your master will. Okay, now there is another option how we can always keep the metronome soloed. Now I don't know about you, but I like to have a pre-master in my mixer. And we can do that by designating any track as pre-master. So let's do that now. And what we want is we want every other mixer track, except for the metronome, to be routed to the pre-master. And then it's the pre-master that will go to the master. So currently, every other free mixer track is getting sent to the master. So what we need to do, the quickest way, instead of having to hold Control and drag and highlight all the mixer tracks yourself, and if you do want to do that, by the way, the quickest way is setting the mixer to compact. so you can see quickly all the mixer tracks and you can drag them quicker. But we'll just put that back to wide for now. The quickest way is right click on the master mixer track and going to select tracks routed to this one, because currently all the tracks are already routed to the master. So once you've done that, now all we need to do is right click the pre-master, go to track routing and go to route selected to this track only. Now every other track will be getting sent to the pre-master and not the master, and then the pre-master, will then be getting sent to the master. So then the next step from there is when you're on your pre-master mixer track, just right click on the Metronome's track routing and select sidechain to this track. So now, because we've made a connection to there, any other mixer track that we solo will automatically solo the Metronome track as well, because obviously any track is going to the pre-master and then the pre-master has got a sidechain connection, hence why that is soloing that. If we didn't have that, it would not solo the Metronome mixer track. So we need a little sidechain. We obviously don't want to send level, we just want it sidechained. So that's the way you do that. Quickly while I'm here as well, it's a good idea to dock these. So you can dock left and right, and that way they'll always stay in view. So let's put that to the right because we've got the master in the left. The docks can be hidden. And when you scroll the middle section, no matter where you go, the docks will always remain in view and accessible. So these are handy for the subgroups, the bus groups that you're sending, like all bass, all vocals, etc.